Welcome to Beer Reviewed with Elliot Weber. I'm Elliot Weber. This is the show where I read an article that is published in a peer-reviewed journal, and then I summarize it after I drink a six-pack of beer. Hence the title, Beer Reviewed. Welcome to the show. Today's article, the article I read, is titled Alcohol, Wine, and the Cardiovascular System. It is published in the Journal for Advances in the Treatment of Cardiovascular Disease, written by Matthew Lindberg and Ezra Amsterdam. Like the city, Amsterdam, like the city. Published in 2008, and today's beer is Goose Island IPA. I've had 5 of these, and I'll have the 6th during the show as I summarize this article for you. And as you might have guessed, this article is about drinking and cardiovascular health. And my hope was to find some sort of science that would validate drinking to any degree, but hopefully with long-term health benefits. And I read this article, and I'll summarize it for you briefly, and we'll determine at the end if we got the result we're hoping for to justify our drinking habits. 5 points for myself. But regardless, the article did find that drinking moderate amounts of alcohol does have beneficial effects on cardiovascular health. They threw some words around. It could have favorable influences on platelets, antioxidants, fibrinolysis, and lipids, which are all bones. I think they're things in the body. That a moderate amount of alcohol consumption could have positive influences on, according to their research. End of the abstract, they finish with this sentence: it is not currently possible to define the role of wine in human health, which is unfortunate. That they don't know if it's good for you or bad for you. It makes you feel good. Not necessarily wine, any alcohol. It makes you feel good, so I don't know if that was part of what they took into consideration in terms of long-term health. But I do think that does play a part. All right, moving forward. Introduction turns a little negative, a little not as what I was hoping for with the result of this. It says, excessive alcohol consumption has devastating effects that have been well documented. This was an epidemiological study, which is, I had to look this one up for you. It is the risk of disease or death based on data distribution. So essentially this whole study is looking at people's lifestyle choices and if those lifestyle choices correspond with early mortality or risk of heart disease. This is the French paradox, which I think is something we've all heard, the idea that red wine is actually good for you in small amounts, the dosage. And that was from a study that looked at European countries and their risk factors for heart disease. And in this study, for some unknown reason, France was notably way less likely to have heart disease than any other country where this took place. The data was extrapolated from that study, and people assumed it's because the French drank red wine, which has certain levels of antioxidants. Since then, rebuttals of that study have shown that possibly socioeconomic factors have played into the better health of the French people. Because if you drink wine, you probably have money. So here are the things that, or the bodily functions that this study has concluded could benefit from moderate amounts of alcohol consumption. Lipid oxidation. Had to look it up. Fatty acids or lipids are fatty acids. They store energy. More oxygen to the energy stores is a good thing. That could be a result of moderate alcohol consumption. Platelet activity. Platelets are the small cells in your blood. I think I knew that one without looking it out. It was either that or what I shouldn't take out of my mom's cabinet. That was China. Platelets are in your blood. I looked it up too. But platelets are in your blood. Small blood cells, main function is to stop bleeding. So if you get a cut, scab, platelets. You have to excuse me on that. Friborough. You know what? There's another thing. I don't know what it is, but it's something related to cardiovascular health that could benefit from alcohol consumption. All right, so we covered to the final results of this study, and what they're describing is with moderate alcohol consumption, and it's about time they defined this because I was starting to begin to wonder if this was considered moderate. And I knew it wasn't, but at the same time, I was like, if it is, we're in business. I'm doing everything right. But moderate alcohol consumption, 1 to 2 drinks per night for men, 1 drink a day for women is how it's defined. There are differences from this study based on gender, okay? So I'm not being sexist. I'm just saying, according to science, men can outdrink women. There is abundant data towards moderate alcohol consumption being beneficial for long-term health and lowering your risk of cardiovascular disease. However, they are not sure if that research is causal or merely an association. So is the reason that people who have 2 drinks a day have better heart health than someone who has no drinks because of the drinking, or is it because they have potentially a higher socioeconomic status and they're also able to live a healthier lifestyle than someone who can't afford to drink at all? Additionally, and this is the kicker, I was hoping this one would go the other way, there is no evidence to suggest that if you abstain from alcohol, you should start drinking alcohol for health benefits, which seemed obvious, but I was kind of hoping they would be like, you know what, if you don't drink, have a few. Take the fucking load off before you have a heart attack, man. But anyway, that's the end of our episode. My name is Elliot. Tune in next week when I smoke meth and read from the Bible.